Boom! Greetings from YouTubeville. Once again, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. If you like the video, sub and subscribe. Mondays suck. They do. Hold on 1 second. There's a glitch in the matrix. So today, I'm going to be throwing out 6 more prospects for you for the 2025 April NFL Draft. And then we'll be at 321 players already. Then after that, I'm going to be throwing down a 2-round. Wait. Even on an off week, still the best beard on YouTube. So after I drop these 6 prospects, I'm going to be doing all 32 team 2-round mock draft. That's going to take some time. So after this video, give me about an hour or two, and then I'll drop that. I already did the draft. And like I said, it's going to be completely different from last week's draft because the positions are going to change every single week with the records. You know, perfect example, Dallas went from I think picking 13 last week to now they're picking 23. So it's going to change. But the good thing is I throw different players at you, and it's just more fun. You get to watch these guys on Saturday or Fridays. Tomorrow night, we're starting college football. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tomorrow night is Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights. That's when you separate the men from the boys. That's where you can find your sleepers. When the Sun Belt Conference plays, when the MAC plays, that's when you can find your sleepers. And that's also where you can make some ducats. But for that, you got to switch over to Danny Savage, Draft Guru on Twitter. First kid is a wide receiver, Ricky White, out of UNLV. Yo, the kid's 6'1", 190. So he could put on a little bit more weight, but he is a straight speedster. He's on his second quarterback. Their first quarterback was too good. They didn't offer him a big enough bag, so he just left. He quit. He goes, I'm redshirting. See you. He already has 30 catches for almost 400 yards and 6 touchdowns already. And that's with dealing with 2 different quarterbacks, this kid. Last year, he had 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns last year. Excuse me. He had 1,500 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. He is a name to look out for because besides myself, show me one person that's talking about him. I'll be waiting. What's the matter? Talking to my dog. All right. Next kid. I already gave you one safety from Iowa. Giving you a second one. Sebastian Castro, Iowa. 5'11", 210. Little bit on the smaller side than I like for safeties. He's a senior, 3-year starter. He has 16 tackles, 1 interception, 1 pass defensed. Iowa plays their safeties weird, bro. They're interchangeable, and they play them like a midfielder, like a center fielder in baseball, where they have to cover a lot of ground, and they have to come up and be able to cover the corners, cover the wide receivers, cover the running backs, and they also have to come in and stop the run. Some people view this kid as a corner. Some people view this kid as a safety. It's all going to come down to what your organization needs. But I do think he has the flex to play both. I do think he would need 5'11", 210, man. I don't know, man. He's coming out of the Big Ten, which is a tough division, especially against the run. I would like for him to be at least maybe 220 for safety. But unfortunately, in the NFL today, we have 220-pound linebackers, and it shows where some of these teams just get run over like crazy. Next kid is a kid I was crazy down on, and I can admit when I'm right, I can admit when I'm wrong, but I say the truth even when I lie. Kyle McCord, he was on Ohio State last year, and he was brutal. I mean, brutal. Surrounded with all that talent he had at Ohio State. He was just horrendous last year. And the only person he can make look good was Marvin Harrison. Besides that, like everybody on offense had a down year last year with Ohio State. So long story short, he transfers to Syracuse. He's like 6'3", 200 pounds, so he has good size. He transfers to Syracuse. Now Syracuse is like 4-1. He has like 1,800 yards, 16 touchdowns, and I think 6 interceptions. 17 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So could it have been the system? Possibly. Could it have been he was partying too much at Ohio State? Possibly. Could they simplified the system? I could just cut a Scott Steiner promo on you guys right now from that one, but I'm not going to say that. But I'll save that for later. Could they have simplified it? It's possible, but there's no way in hell you're going to tell me he has more quality players around him at Syracuse than he did at Ohio State. But also in the last few weeks, he's been playing against lesser competition. So let's see if Kyle McCord from Syracuse, quarterback, can keep this up, because he can be a sneaky day 3 guy that could get you a lot of value. Like I said, quarterbacks, I hate ranking quarterbacks. I hate watching quarterbacks. I just do. Next kid, I'm going to butcher this kid's names. Why can't they just name people like Ralph or Tom or like Jake or Danny anymore? Like, what's up with this? These names are killing me. Follow me, people. Damctrius, but it's like Revis, Weatherspoon, offensive tackle, Syracuse. He's a left tackle. 6'7", 330. He's a transfer from Howard. Last year at Howard, he was All-American. So, and he stepped up. He's playing up against a higher level of competition. And he's a knuckle dragger. His arms go down to his ankles, dude. Like I said, he was 6'7", 330, and it takes you like a 30-minute cab ride to get around this guy. And he's also blocking Kyle McCord's backside. So he's a name to watch out for that no one's really talking about. Next kid is a Tennessee running back. He's starting to get a little bit love. Dylan Sampson, Tennessee. Good size, 5'11", 201. How many times have you heard this out of my mouth, people? This year, it is a sick year for running backs. If your team needs a running back, this is the year to get it. There's 15 to 20 monsters in this drafts at running back. Do I see maybe 2 going in the first round? Possibly. But in my opinion, there's at least 15 monsters. At least in my opinion. So this kid, he plays for Tennessee. He's 5'11", 201, and he has 600 yards and 12 TDs on the year. Pretty good production for 5 games into the season so far. Gonna throw out another running back for you. DJ Gliddens, Kansas State. He has 600 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he's a much bigger back. He's 6'1", 225. So last year, he was All-American. He had 10. In 2023, he had 1,300 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So his production will go up, but he's also going to get that asterisk of the Big 12 running back that I'm just not I like Big 12 running backs a little better than Big 12 wide receivers, but I'm not a huge fan of certain positions, certain conferences players, because there's certain conferences out there that just don't play defense. They just don't. So I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I gave you 6 players. We are at 321. 320. Hold on. 321 players so far. From now until April, we're probably going to reach 700. The way we're going, absolutely. All right. So you got to give me some time because I got to drop now after this. It's mock draft Mondays. I'm going to drop all 32 teams, 2-round mock drafts. Tomorrow we're going to talk fantasy because Wednesday I know Wednesday is fantasy Wednesdays because a lot of people live in a fantasy world, especially when it comes to YouTube. Bam. So we're going to do fantasy tomorrow. Wednesday, probably nothing. Then Thursday, we'll start talking about more prospects. Friday, more prospects. But tomorrow, we'll start talking college ball. Liberty plays tomorrow night. Like I said, this week, there's college football Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if you like college football like I do, there's a game to watch every night. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO for life, over and out, people.